Yeah, yeah, yeah. Y'all watching the Grind Ethiks Mixtape Show, and I'm your host, Viktory, BX Supreme Promoter, basically. You know what I mean? I'm Shane, basically. Yeah. Thank y'all for watching this new episode. Yo, this is a new episode of my new segment called the Mixtape Files. For those who don't know, I'm shooting a mixtape. Uh, I'm now producing a mixtape documentary called the Mixtape Files, which is still Grind Ethiks Mixtape Show, but just another division or another chamber or another section. You know what I'm saying? Of Grind Ethiks Mixtape Show, the Mixtape Files, which is this is where I'm showing love to different New York mixtape DJs from back in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. So far, I got a bunch of interviews, of different DJs and also mixtape supporters or people that actually bought and listened to mixtapes. All right. And I want to talk about, anyone that liked this episode of Grind Ethiks, I'll be very grateful if anyone could follow me on Grind Ethiks Instagram, Grind Ethiks Mixtape Show at Instagram, Grind Ethiks Media. Also share, like, comment, and subscribe and ring the bell and all that good stuff so I can get my algorithm going. So I could boost up this so more people could see the documentary series and also Grind Ethiks in general. Because I don't want Grind Ethiks to be all about me talking about deep stuff. Because I've been talking about a lot of deep stuff lately. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I don't want Grind Ethiks to be just about that. I don't want Grind Ethiks just to be about one thing. As long as it's within the boundaries of entertainment and business and all that good stuff and self-worthiness and all that good stuff. But anyway, yeah. So I decided to do this mixtape documentary. So, I want to talk about my experience of being a mixtape seller, a mixtape supporter, and a mixtape seller. I would say I was selling more mixtapes than actually listening to mixtapes. I was more. I wasn't really that much of a mixtape fan like that, but I did bought the mixtapes. You know, back in the I would say I would say early 90s. No, late 90s. Back in 1999, that's when I started selling mixtapes. I'm talking about the Clues. I used to sell Absolutes, Dirty Harrys, Big Mikes, a little bit of Ron G, some Ron G joints. Who else? DJ Juice, DJ Cutmaster C. Who else? Who else I used to sell? Who else as far as DJs? Oh, Green Lantern. J Arms, the instrumental DJ. Big shouts to J Arms. Sycamore as well. There's certain people I'm not mentioning. I sold a lot of DJ mixtapes and I promoted a lot of DJs back in the day. Who else? Oh, DJ Ty Boogie. Yeah, DJ SNS, the party DJs, the party blend DJs. I especially liked the R&B, the old school R&B 80s and 90s DJs. You know what I'm saying? Like SNS. SNS was the man with the party blends. You know what I mean? DJ LA Love. I remember LA Love used to DJ at he used to DJ at the Skate Key in the Bronx back in the day. This is when Sex Boogie was doing his thing, videotaping parties and throwing parties and all that, and producing his cable access show. I forgot the name of I forgot the name of his cable access show, but anyway. Yeah, but I used to sell a lot of mixtapes back in the day, man. It was a good experience. It was a good experience. Oh yeah, I remember I used to sell a lot of the Hot 97 mixtapes. Hot 97 came up with mad volumes, and me being who I am, I was like, yo, I gotta get the new. People asking for the new Hot 97. I gotta get at least 5. I gotta get at least 5 or almost 10, on copies. Because you sell certain amount of copies, you go back to the spot and you get some more. And I used to sell a lot of instrumental mixtapes too. Like I said, J Arms, Sycamore. These are the only instrumental mixtape DJs I actually known of from back in the day. I'm thriving to dig up more information on DJs that actually put together instrumentals. I think DJ J Love. Oh yeah, J Love was another dude. He's another dude I was promoting. I was selling a lot of his mixtapes, especially the Mob Misses mixtapes or the Mob Deep unreleased mixtapes. That was killer. I was hearing songs from Mob Deep I never heard before. I was like, yo, this is killer. This is killer. This is almost as good as the album. And then you had some mixtapes that were better than albums. Mixtapes were like, even to this day, they're like pre-albums. They're like pre-albums, you know what I mean? It gets you hyped up before you actually hear the actual album. But those are the good old days, man. Those are the good old days, man. Those were the good old days, man. I sold a lot of mixtapes from, I would say, because I used to ride on the 6th line. I used to go every morning, go to Canal, get my mixtapes, right? Hop on the 6 from Canal, travel all the way to Hunts Point in the Bronx, walk all the way from Hunts Point, sell a mixtape from Hunts Point, Soundview, Elville, Longwood, Castle Hill, Parkchester, all them places, all the whole 6 line. Not the whole 6 line, but most of it. That's when I first met Hocus 4/5. Y'all know him, the famous podcaster, Hocus 4/5. I used to sell a lot of mixtapes to him back in the early 2000. Back in 2004. When he used to live on Castle Hill, I used to sell mad mixtapes to that brother and his homies. You know what I mean? And that's when I started to build up a lot of clientele every Friday and Saturday. I would say, okay, during the weekday, I made a certain amount of money. I had a certain quarter, but my quarter was different from my Saturday quarter. My Saturday quarter was more money because more people were outside, more people, you know what I'm saying, didn't go to work on Saturdays. So Saturdays I made more money. So I had my clientele, Castle Hill, Parkchester, Soundview, I would say my clientele was mostly people in Castle Hill, the Parkchester area. I just walked from Hunts Point, Elder Avenue, Soundview, all them places, But I had fun back in those days. People used to harass me like, yo, you don't got the new clue? Are you crazy? Yo, bro, you're fucking, because New York cats are not gonna be nice to you. When you don't have their mixtape or what they have or what they want or what they need, they're not gonna be nice to you. They're not gonna be nice to you. They'll be like, yo, son, you fucking up. Y'all remember one time this dude was looking at my mixtapes. He was like, you know what I'm saying? He was like, he was like, yo, bro, no disrespect, but you got nothing but bullshit here, man. You ain't got the latest nothing up in here, man. And that's when I learned. I would say the mixtape game or the mixtape industry taught me about supply and demand because. Okay, I was learning about supply and demand kind of in high school, my last year of high school, but I just didn't get it. I just didn't get what the hell supply and demand, and I just didn't get it, right? Until I started selling mixtapes. That's when I was like, okay, now I know what supply and demand is. You know what I'm saying? These people demand a certain particular type of product, and I'm supposed to supply them. supply the demand, or fulfill the orders, fulfill the demand, fulfill the needs, fulfill the wants of the market or the customers. So the mixtape game definitely I would say maybe like the foundation of my financial literacy. It definitely taught me supply and demand. It definitely taught me that. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. But I want to know what's your experience or tell us your experience of the mixtape world for those who were supporters of the mixtape world, whether it be the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, it don't matter. Give us your experience, and especially if you used to be a mixtape seller like me, if you used to sell mixtapes or whatever, And a lot of the shit was bootleg. A lot of this shit was bootleg that we was doing. We was selling bootleg mixtapes. But a lot of DJs knew this. A lot of DJs knew that we were selling their mixtapes on some bootleg shit. I wasn't making them. I wasn't producing them. I was just buying them from the people who was producing them. The people who bought who had the CD machines or whatever. I bought it from them. But DJs, a lot of DJs, some DJs they didn't even want nobody selling their mixtape, no bootleggers selling their stuff. But I would say a lot of DJs, I can't give you a percentage, but a lot of DJs didn't care. A lot of DJs actually encouraged bootleggers to sell their stuff, whether they was making money off the bootlegs, the DJs, or whether they wasn't making money off the bootleg mixtapes. Either or, it was promotions for them. That's how they see. That's how they see. And plus, a lot of mixtape DJs were also making money from parties, not just mixtapes. But anyway, I'm out. If you like this episode of the Mixtape Files, Grind Ethiks, whatever. Oh, thank y'all for watching Mixtape Files, a special segment of the Grind Ethiks Mixtape Show. Thank y'all. And anyone that liked this episode, I'll be very grateful if anyone can hit me with a friendly donation. The link is Grind Ethiks Cash App. That's Grind Ethiks Cash App. And also I'm on PayPal, Grind Ethiks Media at PayPal. And I'm out, y'all. And remember, peoples, tell a friend that tell a friend. That's all about the motherfucking grind. Basically,